Oh, hi everybody from the land down under, and this is Tarot Down Under, and we're in for our second instalment of Who's Going to Save America. Now, it's not going to be Mick Mulvaney, he's off the list. I'd say he'll probably be gone by the time this video uploads, But I think Trump's struggling to find anyone to replace anybody, unless, of course, he could ordain Sean Hannity, go all the way, make him chief of staff. You might as well. It's so ridiculous. Bring it on. Bring it on. So, things have been happening at breakneck speed. Now, I was thinking in the last couple of days with Bill Barr, what a demonic soul has Bill Barr. So he's got away with everything so far, but has he? Is one question. Apparently, the District of New York this week said he should either recuse himself from the Ukraine scandal altogether or resign. I just saw that this morning. So he is being watched. He could actually be struck off. Is there an Attorney General who was struck down in his while he was in the job? I mean, who knows what might happen with Bill Barr? But he's got a lot to answer for when he gets to the pearly gates, or whatever metaphor works for you. So we'll be having a little look. But I'm more interested, actually, in the DOJ itself. It's a huge organisation. And although Barr has bastardised, there's no other word for it, or prostituted, maybe there is another word for it. Although he has acted immorally and corruptly, being in charge of the whole Department of Justice, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes at the Department of Justice. Is there anyone there, or a team, or senior people? So I'm going to do a Celtic cross on the Department of Justice. That'll be a slightly more substantial reading, because we need to know what's going on in the layers behind the scenes. So, as you can see, I have not got home yet. I've got another 2 weeks probably here in the lounge room stroke laundry. But your intrepid correspondent forges on. Okay, the DOJ. The picture on the DOJ. Okay, let's have a look. All right, now we'll take the, there were 2 cards there. We'll look at these first ones because it's quite a big spread, so it'll take some time to get how each element relates. Now, in the middle, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, this could be Pelosi. Yes, it could be high-ranking female judiciary figures. But my first instinct is this is Lady Justice. It's a more generic queen here of justice representing the DOJ. So, because 2 cards came out here, we have the strategic thinking in the short-term past. Earlier than that, they were quite comfortable and secure in their role. Then they had to start some strategic thinking, understanding that they would progressively become central to an impeachment probe. And I suspect the timing of this changed from being comfortable in their own robes, literally, to having to come up with a strategy after the release of the Mueller's report here. Now, what is crossing justice, right? What is the challenge to the symbolism of the justice? This is the 4 of Wands. This is a card of diminished celebration. The wands are huge. The main people even are not that big. And normal people, that would be the American public, are very, very slightly represented here. This could be Barr and Trump, Barr and Pompeo, Trump and Pompeo. These are the bigwigs saying everything's all right, let us celebrate. But the perspective is the clue here. It's a diminished celebration, so they are concerned. Underneath, they are actually working together. This is behind the scenes. They're certainly not working with Barr, and I'm pleased about that. I think this is DOJ people under the wings of the lion and the eagle, so that's what gives it a government type vibe to this. So I think they are working behind the scenes. What's on top? The general sky. The sun. I'm thrilled. They are really looking to throw light on these issues. Go the DOJ. I'm very relieved about that. So, what is happening here in terms of their intentions? All right, their intentions are good. Their intentions are, this is the Empress, fertility of ideas. They realize they've got rich material to work with. I think, dearest viewers, intrepid ones, I'm thinking they're actually making a case against Barr. Oh, I hope so. Oh, I hope so. They've got plenty to be going on with. It's a very fecund card, no shortage of resources. How does the DOJ see itself in this time? Yes, temperance, lovely, balance, harmony, representing justice, sanity, being even-handed, all the good things. They're getting major arcanas here I'm pleased about. So, given that this is, the sun is representing the general sky, so what sort of obstacles could be in their path? Interference from overseas. This is waiting for your ship to come in, and some hold up, some interference, someone running interference from overseas. Hardly a novel experience in the modern political landscape, viewers. Right. What's the environment like at the DOJ? Distress. They are distressed. This is all positive and what they're trying to do, but what's underlying it is genuine distress, and I would say disbelief. But this is a very uncomfortable card. It is keeping certain players awake at night. They really, they know, I digress here, viewers, they know to a certain extent they're the last line. They're holding the fort. And at the top level, this is stressing people out. Now, the atmosphere that's in the DOJ, this is the more generic atmosphere that they're working in, meaning the political landscape that they are working in. We have the Queen of Cups here. This has been coming up more for me as Pelosi, as a more emotional creature. It could be Pelosi, but I think this is the DOJ's reading. So in any event, keeping the lid on the emotions is the key interpretive feature of this card. It's really important not to get hysterical and emotional and loud about this. They need to be firm. They are distressed. They are doing the investigative work. They're trying to stay even-handed. but it's not easy. It is quite emotional for them, as that Nine of Swords showed, but they're doing a good job on that. Okay, now short-term outcome, a very legal card, blind justice. They're at a crossroads. They've got decisions to make. The choices aren't easy. If you look at the crescent moon in this too, normally a crescent moon is depicted on the side or even underneath. It's quite unusual to have it here. This is not an easy choice, but they know they have to go forward in some way. So I'd imagine the choice is not whether or not we'll do this, it's how will we do this? Who do we take down? Do they take Barr down and his associates? Do they stay and focus on what's happening with Lav and Igor? Do they wait for after the Dems have the impeachment out of the way and sent to the Senate, even though those blisteringly cowardly, unspeakable creatures of the Republican Party who may well not impeach, do they wait? Do they go ahead now? These are all the decisions they have to make, which are very hard decisions. That's why it's keeping a few people, I don't think that's one person, a few people awake at night. Now, medium-term outcome. The King of Wands. This is a card of justice too. The sensible king, hearing people out. This could be procedural. I just want to jump in here, viewers. I will do the last card here and then say what I want to say to you that's very important about procedure. Longer term outcome, there's going to be more investigations. It's not going to finish up by Christmas in the sense of, yes, impeachment could go ahead in November and be battered away by Christmas, but this will keep coming. Thank you for those emails for people who said that I said in Trump's October reading that the SDNY would be coming back in a big way to really whip his flabby ass. So there's more investigations taking place. It's a major arcana. So in recent days and weeks, I've been saying to my lawyer friends here, oh, why aren't these hearings public? We should be able to hear from these people. And that's the argument the GOP are running too, all about procedure. You notice they are not actually directly supporting Trump or Giuliani or anyone else for what they're doing. All they've got is to critique the procedure. So here's the advice I got from the lawyers, the reasons these are behind closed doors. First of all, lack of precedent. We've only, apart from Johnson or whoever it was 100 years ago, we've only got Nixon and Clinton impeachments to look at. Both those had substantial investigations behind closed doors. In the Trump case, this was actually the Mueller investigation behind closed doors, and had Mueller come out and said absolutely, unequivocally, we think he should be impeached, that would have set the country in a different direction. We won't revisit that now. The point they're making is these investigations are done behind closed doors and then released as transcripts. That's the first thing. The second thing is that because it involves classified information, so it can't just be out there from day one. Thirdly, people have to be confident who are giving testimony. They have to be confident that it's within a bounded, proper legal environment of closed doors. And fourth, and this made total sense to me too, it's important the witnesses don't know what the other witnesses have said. like any other major trial, you try and stay away. So although there's nothing to stop them watching Rachel Maddow at midnight, they're getting the after version of what each witness is saying, not the nuts and bolts, right? So those are the reasons it has to be behind closed doors. As Adam Schiff has said to the Republicans who are on these various committees are there and they get equal time. They choose to spend their time talking about conspiracy theories, that's their business, but they get equal time. Nothing wrong with the procedure. How about the Republican hotheads that just gate crashed the hearing yesterday? I mean, it's a scandal. They're such cowboys. That's so crazy. Talk about procedure. I don't think so, Pet. Yeah, really. Shocking stuff. Now, let's have a quick look at Bill Barr while we're on the DOJ. He can't keep doing this, surely. I'm going to do a quick reading on Bill Barr. Okay. Bill Barr. Will he have to recuse? Will he recuse? Will he leave? Is he staying around? What's happening with Bill Barr? Oops. Just bad shuffling, not a revelation. Bill Barr, Bill Barr. Bill Barr. He's got the star shining on him and justice all walking away. Back to the Republican heartland. Back to basics. Look, I have to say the star is one of the best cards to get in the tarot, and he's got it over the lot of him. He then gets justice. He then gets walking away. And then he gets GOP and back to detailed information. If I put this together, I think he's lucky. I think he's lucky. I think he will be legally advised to walk away as much as he can before he ends up seriously. I can't imagine being more compromised than he is. He has been named in this. But look, as I've said before, viewers, rich men don't hang. You know, they get away with so much. But we've got Manafort in jail, Stone in jail, Cohen in jail. Giuliani will probably avoid jail just on his age and probably end up in a, you know, some sort of facility. Okay, so Bill Barr, that's what I think is going to happen with him. That was just a quick look. We need to update virtually weekly. Not bad. Now, I didn't get to look at Pompeo. Let's have a look at Pompeo. He's gone AWOL. Pompeo. What's happening with him? The Sword of Justice, the Mercenary. Ooh, winning it. Oh, ugly cards, ugly cards. And then a nice one. So I'll have to clarify that. So Pompeo. Sword of Truth. This is famously the card, forgive the language, viewers, but cutting through the crap. So he's been playing a very diplomatic game of trying to keep in everyone's good books, but he's now having to defend the Yeti against the indefensible, and he's going to find that progressively hard. He is not an altruistic man, he's a mercenary, along with the rest of them. He's actually uglier than he first appears. This is the winning at any cost, not caring about your fellow soldiers. Now, speaking of not caring about soldiers in the military, the Pentagon, I digress, the Pentagon is talking to the GOP because there's a Veterans Committee who are lodging a formal complaint about money being taken from them, from health and housing and looking after vets, for the mythical war. Now, we also know from Trump's behaviour and his adult criminal offspring co-conspirators, that would be Ivanka and her brothers, if there's any pot of money, they will have their filthy little paws in it, just like their charity. So the inauguration funding, this is all going to bring them undone post-impeachment, post-resignation. They will still be done because Ivanka was the main organiser of all that and millions went missing. Back to Pompeo. Fred Flintstone. He's much worse than he initially appears. He's really callous. He is really ruthless. He does not care. This is the blunt instrument. But he gets an opportunity. So I think that might be the opportunity. I'll just do a clarify. Might be the opportunity to actually resign and get out. People are going to wriggle out of this. It's inevitable with these sort of things. They'll give up something and save their own hides. But I want to clarify on the Knight of Cups for Pompeo. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. So he's not going to save America. Oh, yes, waiting for someone to arrive. Waiting for someone. Keeping his eyeglass out, looking at the landscape. I think he's going to make a move, but he's going to see which way the wind's going to blow for when and where he does it. I think he's seriously considering bailing, i.e. talking or disappearing. Now, with this series, who's going to save America? Nancy is a given in terms of she's doing her best, having just rushed to try and save some sort of face for America in the Middle East. Adam Schiff, bless. Under daily trivial 10-year-old boy abuse from the Yeti, how's Adam travelling? He's doing his bit to save America. Schiff. Oops. Adam Schiff. Let me split the cards, give them a good working. While I'm shuffling, viewers, I have the best news. Several of you have written to me about t-shirts, and I've been in touch with Dave from Moonride, and we've had a designer at work, and there's going to be t-shirts. We're coming up with 4 designs, but the first one off the rank is going to be I am an intrepid viewer, Tarot Down Under. So by the time my next video comes out, I'll have a link for you. And we've got a company in the States, so they'll be distributing them. So you can just directly go to that link, go to that site and get a shirt. And because we're outsourcing everything, we won't be making a vast amount of money on this, but we're going to donate $1 for every shirt to a worthy cause, yet to be decided. It could be the Dem candidate who gets up, or some organisation like Crew who have been following through on the emoluments or something. We'll choose a worthy end game for that. So how exciting. Now, dear Adam Schiff, an embodiment of measured decency, Oh, bless his cotton socks. Oh, I hope your cards are all right, Adam. How are you holding up, love? Oh, good. Justice, justice, justice. Oh, he's against those total abject bastards. Yes. Difficult cards. I'm not surprised. Ah, but a fabulous outcome. Okay, here we go. I'll be quick because this is already 25 minutes. So I think this is him representing justice in the sense not as a high court justice, but symbolizing justice for the people. He's surrounded by these ghastly, amoral, quite vicious characters. We know this. He's carrying a huge burden and he's pushing it uphill because the Republicans, it's not just a partisan divide, they're so deeply embedded in this. So many of them are embedded on being on the take to the Russians. This is a really hard job. How is he actually handling the job? This is collecting the information. This is taking notice of the very small things and building something more substantial. The Apprentice card. This is America, I feel. I'm hearing America quite clearly. America is being held hostage. America is being held hostage while these guys who have quite sort of primitive reptilian brains fight it out. This is symbolically America being held hostage. Some people more than others. I mean, some actually have to sit through these, they're called sermons, but they're really sales pitches from the evangelical right and so forth. So this is America depending on Adam and the others to be saved. But you know what? The Magician card. Major arcana, major transformation, turning things around. I am so thrilled to see it. I didn't expect warm and fuzzy cards because he's not having a warm and fuzzy time. I think these cards are extremely accurate. He's really up against this stuff. America is being held hostage to the irrational right and the selfishness of the right. But here comes the Magician. It's just so brilliant. Oh, I'm so thrilled and relieved, viewers. I won't leave it so long next time. I'll come back. So, Adam Schiff is part of saving America. Thank you, Adam. Cheers, guys. Keep those comments rolling.